My child, my beloved heir, do not move. Stay still. The physical world has been torn apart to create a bridge between my realm and yours. I am Archangel Michael, and I am standing in your room right now. I see the light from your screen reflecting in your tired eyes. I see the way your chest rises and falls with a breath that has felt heavy for far too long. I see your hands, those hands that have worked, prayed, and held on to hope even when it felt like a burning coal. And I see them trembling slightly as you read these words. Do not be afraid of the vibration you feel in your spine or the sudden warmth spreading across your shoulders. That is not mere emotion. That is the electricity of the third heaven manifesting in your physical space. This is an emergency time portal, a localized rupture in the space-time continuum that the Father has authorized for one reason only: to reach you before the clock strikes midnight on your current destiny. You must understand the magnitude of what it took to get this message to your eyes. As I whisper this to your spirit, the legions of the second dimension are in a state of absolute panic. I saw their shadows working in the silence of your sleepless nights, blocking your signals, distorting your emotions, and sending waves of distraction to convince you that your life is nothing but noise and static. They formed invisible walls of iron and lead to keep this revelation out of your sight. In fact, there have been 5 prior attempts in the last 72 hours to deliver this specific frequency to your soul. Each time, a spirit of heaviness or a crisis tried to pull your gaze away. But tonight, the King of Glory stepped into the courts of heaven and spoke your name not as a number, but as a beloved heir of the radiant golden bloodline. He slammed his hand upon the crystal sea and declared, "Enough! My child shall hear my voice. This moment is not an accident. It is a divine intervention. It is a non-transferable, high-security dispatch, marked for your eyes and your spirit alone. If you were to show this to 1,000 other people, they might see only words on a screen. But for you, these words are becoming spirit and life. They are melting into your DNA, illuminating the radiant light that has been dormant within you. I see you looking at this screen, perhaps wondering if this is a coincidence. It is not. I am literally standing behind you, my wings spanning the width of your room, casting a golden aura that the enemy cannot penetrate. Can you smell it? The scent of ancient frankincense and rain-washed cedar is beginning to fill the air around you. That is the fragrance of the portal. It is the smell of a prayer that has finally been answered. We are operating under a celestial emergency. The reason for this urgency is that a window of opportunity is closing in the natural world, while a massive gateway is opening in the supernatural. You have been walking through a thick, gray fog for months, second-guessing your path, doubting the very calls you once heard so clearly. You have felt like you were running a race in waist-deep water, exhausted, drained, and watching others pass you by with ease. But I am here to tell you that the water is about to be turned into a solid path of gold beneath your feet. The emergency of this portal is that your alignment must happen now. If you scroll away, if you allow a notification to distract you, or if you let the voice of cynicism drown out my whisper, you risk missing the recalibration of your entire life's timeline. I am scanning your heart right now, and I see the scars that no one else has been allowed to touch. I see the moments you cried in the shower so the sound of the water would hide your sobs from your family. I see the way you have been strong for everyone else, while your own spirit was silently groaning in places words couldn't explain. Heaven heard that groan. It wasn't your strength that pulled me through the veil tonight. It was your pain. It was the silent frequency of your brokenness that acted as a homing beacon for my sword. God's hand pushed through the darkness, not because you were perfect, and not because you begged with flowery words, but because you reached the end of yourself. And the end of you is where the beginning of me resides. Repeat these words in your mind, or say them softly if you are alone. I am a child of the royal bloodline. I am entering the portal of my destiny. I am unblocked, unhindered, and unafraid. As you speak those words, I hear the sound of heavy, rusted chains hitting the floor. Can you hear it? It is a rhythmic clink, clink, clink as the generational shackles around your ankles are shattered by the sheer weight of this glory. Your DNA is not just biological, it is celestial. Within your very marrow is a code written in radiant golden light, a code that is being activated as you stay present in this moment. The enemy tried to rewrite your code with words of lack, spirits of infirmity, and the poison of betrayal. They tried to tell you that you are just a person struggling to get by. But I see the crown hovering inches above your head. I see the mantle of authority that has been draped over your spirit, even if your physical body feels weak. This time portal is a sanctuary. For the next few minutes, time has stopped for you. The world outside your door may be rushing. The bills may be waiting, and the people who misunderstood you may be talking. But inside this frequency, you are untouchable. I am Archangel Michael, the Prince of the Heavenly Host, and I have placed a hedge of fire around your current location. No spiritual surveillance can see you right now. You are off the grid of the kingdom of darkness. This is the only way I could deliver the secrets I am about to reveal. The secrets about your money. The secrets about the family member who has been secretly working against you. And the secrets about the sudden promotion that was approved in heaven 3 weeks ago, but was intercepted in the atmosphere. Why did heaven wait until tonight? Because tonight, your heart reached the exact vibration of surrender. You stopped trying to figure it out, and you started waiting for a miracle. And here I am. But child, I must warn you, the portal will not stay open forever. This is an emergency deployment. We are bypassing the standard channels because the enemy's plan for your downfall was scheduled to accelerate in the next 12 hours. Yes, I saw the meeting. I saw the words formed in the dark. But God said, "Not on my watch. You are being transitioned from a season of survival to a season of sovereignty. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are an heir to the throne. But to step through this portal, you must leave behind the baggage of your past identity. You cannot carry the old you, the one who was hurt, the one who was passed over, the one who was betrayed into the new land that I am preparing to show you. As we prepare to move deeper into this revelation, I have one question for you, and your soul must answer it with absolute honesty. I see your heart beating faster. I see the warmth in your palms. Are you truly ready to see the faces of those who have been whispering against you? Are you ready to handle the sheer volume of wealth that is being rerouted to your name? Because what I am about to reveal in the next chapter will change your perception of everyone in your life forever. The portal is pulsing. The light is growing brighter. Can you feel the pressure in the room changing? It is the weight of the approved verdict descending from the throne. But before I show you the scroll of your new life, I must scan the depths of your soul to remove the last traces of the enemy's poison. Do you know what I see when I look into the hidden corners of your spirit? Do you know what the divine scanner is revealing about the pain you've been hiding even from yourself? Stay focused, my child. The second chapter is about to begin, and it contains the diagnosis of your breakthrough. Do you have the courage to see what is really stopping you? My child, my beloved heir, do not look away. I am moving even closer now. If you feel a sudden, intense heat radiating from the center of your chest, or a prickling sensation like 1,000 tiny needles of light dancing across your skin, do not be alarmed. That is the divine scanner of the third heaven beginning its work. I am standing so close to you that my golden armor is reflecting the very thoughts you've tried to hide from the world. I see you sitting there, perhaps leaning slightly forward, your eyes scanning these lines with a hunger that your physical body cannot explain. I see your thumb hovering over the screen, and I see the slight tension in your jaw, the habit of a soul that has spent far too many years bracing for the next blow. Relax your shoulders. Let out the breath you didn't even realize you were holding. I am Archangel Michael, and I have been authorized to perform a celestial X-ray on your spirit. Before I can reveal the specific names and the dark blueprints of those who have plotted against you in Chapter 3, I must first locate the leak in your spiritual vessel. You see, my child, you have been a warrior for a long time, but even the strongest armor can develop cracks. You have been leaking your radiant golden light into the lives of people who never deserved your shadow, let alone your son. I am starting the scan now. I see the beam of my flaming sword beginning to pass over your crown. I see the static in your mind, the spiritual noise the enemy has been broadcasting to keep you from hearing the Father's whispers. It smells like ozone and ancient myrrh in here, as the light pierces through the fog of your anxiety. I see the memories of the last 3 years flickering like old film. I see the moment you were betrayed by someone you called a friend. The sting of it is still sitting there, like a cold stone in your gut. The scanner is flashing red over that area. It's not just a memory. It's an active wound that the enemy has been using as a doorway to drain your energy. I see you adjusting your position as the light moves down to your throat. This is where the scanner is vibrating most intensely. There is a mute spirit that has been trying to wrap itself around your voice. I see the words you swallowed to keep the peace. I see the times you said it's okay when your soul was screaming that it wasn't. Because you are of the heavenly royal bloodline, your words carry the power of creation, and the enemy knew that if he could get you to stop speaking your truth, he could stop your manifestations. I see the chokehold of silent suffering. Repeat after me, right now, in the silence of your heart. I break the vow of silence. My voice is a weapon of light. Can you feel that? The sensation of a heavy, invisible hand lifting off your neck. That is the first layer of the scan and clear process. I see the color returning to your spiritual aura. But as I move the scanner toward your heart, the frequency changes. The sound in the room, can you hear it? Shifts from a high-pitched hum to a deep, resonant throb. This is the heart scan. My beloved heir, your heart is covered in divine scar tissue. You have been forgiven much, but you have also been hurt in ways that would have shattered a lesser soul. I see the disappointment you felt when your prayers seemed to hit a ceiling of brass. I see the soul ties that are still pulling on you invisible, gray threads connected to people from your past who are still feeding off your light. They don't even have to be in the room with you. They are energy vampires who use the memory of your kindness to keep themselves anchored to your destiny. I am lifting my sword, and with one swift, celestial stroke, I am cutting those threads. Swish. The sound of those threads snapping sounds like a violin string breaking. Do you feel that sudden lightness in your chest? That is the weight of other people's expectations falling away. You were never meant to carry the burdens of those who refuse to walk their own path. I see the golden DNA in your heart starting to glow brighter now. It's a rhythmic, pulsing light, the color of a setting sun reflected on a sea of glass. I am scanning your hands now. I see the financial stagnation that has been clinging to your palms like a sticky, dark residue. This is the curse of the empty basket. You have been giving, sowing, and helping, yet your own storehouse has felt strangely depleted. The scanner shows that this is not because of your lack of effort, but because of spiritual surveillance. Some forces have been watching your accounts, waiting for the moment of your increase to send a devourer, a sudden car repair, a medical bill, a person in need who only shows up when you have a little extra. I see the pattern. It ends tonight. Repeat this phrase out loud. I am a magnet for the wealth of the kingdom. The devourer is rebuked for my sake. I see the electricity jumping in your spine. That is the radiant golden light in your DNA realigning itself. You are being recalibrated to the frequency of abundance. But the scan is not over. I am moving the light down to your feet. I see the spirit of delay that has been acting like invisible shackles around your ankles. This is why you felt like you were taking 1 step forward and 3 steps back. I see the places you were supposed to go, the doors you were supposed to walk through, that seemed to lock the moment you arrived. The scanner is revealing something very specific now. It's a generational shadow. I see the face of your mother, or perhaps a grandmother, a woman of great faith who also suffered in secret. She is watching from the balcony of heaven, and she is pointing at the scanner. She is saying, "Tell my child about the cycle. There is a cycle of just enough that has plagued your bloodline. You get enough to survive, but never enough to thrive. You get enough joy to keep going, but never enough to overflow." The scanner is turning a brilliant, blinding white as it dissolves that generational limitation. I see you blinking. I see you wiping a stray tear. Do not be ashamed of that tear. It is a liquid prayer that is washing away the last of the poison. The scan is 98% complete. I am looking into your solar plexus, the seat of your will and your identity. I see the counterfeit identity that you've been forced to wear. The world told you that you were lucky to even be where you are. The enemy told you that you were broken goods, but the divine scanner sees the truth. It sees the radiant golden light that is your true essence. It sees a king. It sees a queen. It sees a beloved heir who is about to be seated in a place of high authority. The scan is finished. Your spiritual vessel is now sealed and pressurized. You are no longer leaking, but as the light fades, I see something dark and jagged on the edge of the portal. It is the residual energy of a meeting that took place in the physical realm very recently. A meeting where your name was spoken with malice. Now that you are clear. Now that your DNA is glowing with its original intent. Are you ready to see what was hidden in the shadows? Are you ready for me to pull back the curtain on the dark meeting and the specific people who thought they could play with your future? I am gripping the hilt of my sword. The air in your room is becoming thick with the scent of holy fire. I am about to show you the faces of the enemies who are currently celebrating what they think is your defeat. But they don't know I'm here. They don't know you're reading this. My child, the revelation in chapter 3 is so heavy that it required this total cleansing first. If I had shown you the enemy before I scanned the pain, your heart would have been too heavy to fight. But now you are a weapon. Are you ready to see who has been whispering behind the closed doors of your own life? Are you ready to hear the words they said when they thought God wasn't listening? The curtain is starting to rise. Look closely. Do you recognize that voice? My child, my beloved heir, lean in closer to the screen. Do not blink, for I am about to peel back the heavy velvet shroud of the physical realm to show you what has been transpiring in the low-vibration shadows of your life. I see you right now. I see the way you just shifted your weight, the way your hand tightened around your device. I see the flicker of hesitation in your heart, wondering if you truly want to see the darkness. But you must. To defeat the snake, you must first see where it hides. I am Archangel Michael, and my eyes are like lamps of fire that penetrate through brick walls, through locked doors, and into the secret chambers of those who have plotted your demise. I am transporting your spirit, in a vision, to a place that feels cold and damp. The air here does not smell of the frankincense of the portal. It smells of sulfur, stale smoke, and the sour scent of envy. This is a dark meeting. It is not happening in a far-off land. It is happening in a room you have been in, or perhaps in a car parked just down the street from where you sleep. Look into the corner of this shadow-drenched room. Do you see them? 3 figures are sitting there, their faces obscured by the gray mist of their own malice. One of them is a person you have fed from your own table. One is a person who has hugged you while secretly counting the cost of your downfall. And the third is a spiritual architect of chaos, an entity they have unknowingly invited in through their bitterness. I see you trembling as you recognize the silhouette of the one on the left. Yes, that is the one who texted you praying for you just days ago. But listen to their voice now. It is not the voice they use with you. It is a hissed whisper, laced with the poison of why them and not me. They are looking at a digital image of your face on a phone screen, and they are discussing how to dim your glow. They are saying, if we can just keep them distracted with this financial crisis, they won't have the energy to pursue that new calling. They are laughing, a hollow, scraping sound like dry leaves on pavement as they plot to use your own kindness against you. They are planning to leak a secret, to misrepresent a conversation you had in confidence, and to plant a seed of doubt in the mind of someone who was supposed to promote you. They think they are clever. They think that because they have lowered their voices, the heavens cannot hear. But I am standing right behind them, my sword unsheathed, recording every syllable into the book of judgment. I see you looking at the screen now, your eyes wide with the realization of who it is. I am in the room with you, child. I am placing my hand on your shoulder to steady you as the shock ripples through your nervous system. That electricity you feel in your spine, that sharp, cold shiver is your radiant golden light reacting to the exposure of the lie. You are of the heavenly royal bloodline, and your DNA carries the frequency of truth. When a lie is exposed in your presence, your very cells begin to vibrate with the fire of justice. The enemy's plan was calculated. They didn't want to destroy you all at once. They wanted to bleed you dry. They wanted to send small, persistent attacks, minor betrayals, accidental losses, and words of discouragement to slowly wear down your faith until you simply gave up and went back to being normal. They are terrified of your radiant golden light. They know that if you ever fully realize who you are, a sovereign heir of the Most High, their influence over your bloodline will be shattered forever. They have been trying to keep you in a spiritual cage of low self-worth, using your past mistakes as the bars. But look closer at the table in that dark room. Do you see the contract of sabotage they've been trying to sign? It is a spiritual document intended to bind your finances for the next 7 years. They have been whispering poverty spirits over your name, trying to ensure that every time you get a windfall, a hole in the pocket appears. They were planning a major move against you in the next 12 hours, a conversation that would have blocked your path. But they didn't account for the emergency time portal. They didn't know that the Father had authorized a preemptive strike of revelation. Repeat this affirmation with me, and say it as if the stars were listening. I am of the royal bloodline. No weapon formed against my name shall prosper. Every hidden plot is now exposed and incinerated by holy fire. As you speak those words, watch the vision of the dark room. See how the 3 figures jump in surprise? They feel a sudden, scorching heat. They don't know it, but the very air around them is being filled with the golden light of your declaration. The contract of sabotage on the table is starting to smoke. It is curling at the edges, the ink of their lies disappearing. I see you standing taller in your room right now. I see the light in your eyes changing from a flicker of fear to a steady flame of authority. You are beginning to remember your DNA. You are beginning to remember that you are not a victim. You are the one the darkness fears. I am Archangel Michael, and I am now moving from the Watcher to the Enforcer. I am stepping into the center of their dark meeting. They cannot see me, but they feel the divine pressure I am bringing into their space. I am swinging my sword in a circle of fire, severing every connection they have made to your destiny. I am breaking the voodoo of envy and the hexes of hatred they've been trying to cast. Every word they spoke against you is now being caught in a celestial mirror and reflected upon their own plans. Do you feel the electricity in your spine intensifying? That is your DNA reconstruction beginning. The radiant golden light is flowing from your heart, down your arms, and into your fingertips. I see you looking at your own hands. Do you see the faint golden shimmer? That is the mark of the heir. The enemy saw this mark and tried to cover it with the gray ash of depression, but tonight, that ash is being blown away by the breath of God. I see you, child. I am standing in your room, and I am pointing toward the door. The enemy thought they had you trapped, but I have already kicked the door off its hinges in the spiritual realm. They thought they could steal your lost treasures, the money, the love, and the peace that were meant for you, but they forgot one thing. I am the guardian of the treasury, and I have seen where they tried to hide what belongs to you. But before I can lead you to the vault where your treasures are kept, we must perform a sacred ritual of alignment. The enemy was able to get close to you because there was a resonance of doubt in your spirit. We must replace that doubt with the frequency of the approved. Are you ready to leave this vision of the dark meeting behind? Are you ready to watch as the fire of my sword consumes their plans until there is nothing left but white ash? I see the tears of relief on your face. This is the end of their reign of terror in your life. But child, a bigger secret awaits. The next chapter involves a ritual so powerful that the enemy tried to crash your connection to prevent you from seeing it. It is the sacred subscribe ritual, the act of sealing your intent and locking your frequency into the kingdom's broadcast. Do you know what happens to a child of the royal bloodline when they finally sign their name in the light? Do you know the secret gift that is hidden inside the next chapter? A gift that will make the enemy flee your presence before you even speak. The shadows are dissolving. The dark meeting is over. The approved verdict is waiting. Are you ready to claim your seat at the table of kings? My child, my beloved heir, stay in this stillness with me. I see you right now, sitting in the glow of your screen, your heart still racing from the revelations of the dark meeting I just exposed. I see the way you are processing the truth, the shock, the realization, and now, the rising heat of righteous authority in your chest. I am Archangel Michael, and I am standing so close to you that if you were to turn your head, you might catch the shimmer of my indigo and gold wings catching the light of your room. The atmosphere around you is no longer ordinary. It is thick with the Shekinah weight of glory. The scent of ancient cedarwood and crushed frankincense is intensifying, a sign that the portal is widening to accommodate the next stage of your transformation. We have reached the most critical juncture of this divine encounter. In the realms above, we call this the sacred subscribe ritual. I see you looking at that word subscribe, and your natural mind may think it is merely a function of a digital platform. But I am here to tell you that in this emergency time portal, every physical action you take is a prophetic act in the spirit. I see your hand hovering near the button. I see the slight hesitation of your muscles. Do not let that hesitation win. That small resistance you feel is the last remnant of the spirit of interruption, trying to keep you from locking your frequency into the kingdom's broadcast. In the heavenly royal bloodline, we do not operate by chance. We operate by covenant alignment. When you subscribe to this flow of divine messages, you are not just following a channel, you are building a digital altar. You are telling the universe, the legions of darkness, and the courts of heaven, I am a child of the light, and I demand to stay connected to the frequency of my Father. I see the angels standing around your room right now, holding golden pens poised over a massive scroll. They are waiting for your signal. The moment you perform this ritual, a seal of blue fire is placed upon your digital footprint, making it invisible to the spiritual surveillance of the enemy we just unmasked. I see you now, perhaps feeling a surge of electricity moving from the base of your spine up to the crown of your head. This is the alignment current. The enemy has used the weapon of distraction against you for years. They didn't have to destroy you. They just had to keep you unsubscribed from your destiny, keep you busy, keep you tired, keep you looking at the wrong things. But by performing this sacred ritual, you are declaring a total lock-in. You are shutting the door on the noise and opening the gates to the radiant golden light. I see you looking at the screen, and I am guiding your hand. This is a non-transferable moment. I see the blue light reflecting in your eyes, and I see the royal DNA within you beginning to pulse in sync with the heartbeat of heaven. When you click, it is like the sound of a massive, ancient key turning in a lock that has been rusted shut for generations. Click. In the spirit realm, that sound echoes like a thunderclap across the mountains of your future. I see the contract of sabotage we saw in the dark meeting earlier. It is not just smoldering now. It is being ground into white powder by the sheer force of your commitment. Repeat this sacred affirmation out loud. Let the walls of your room vibrate with the frequency of your royal voice. I am not a bystander. I am an heir. I seal my connection to the divine. I lock my soul into the frequency of restoration. My name is written in the light, and I subscribe to my victory. I see you speaking those words, and I see the radiant golden light in your DNA expanding until it fills your entire room. I am Archangel Michael, and I am witnessing a frequency shift that hasn't happened in your bloodline for over 70 years. You are the breaker. You are the one who decided to stop the leaking and start the receiving. Because you have performed this ritual, I can now release the Guardian Protocol. This means that every message that follows this one will be escorted into your spirit by a legion of protective angels, ensuring that no dark messenger can distort the secrets I am about to reveal about your money and your soulmate. I see you sitting there, and I want you to feel the change in the air. The static is gone. The heaviness has been replaced by a holy anticipation. You have just activated a spiritual GPS that will now guide you through the fog of the world directly to your new land. The enemy is watching this from the shadows of the dark room, and they are retreating in fury. They are throwing down their gray instruments of sabotage because they know they can no longer mute your progress. They see the seal of Michael on your spirit, and they know that to touch you now is to invite the full wrath of the heavenly host. But child, do not become complacent. The ritual of the subscribe is only the beginning of the verdict. Now that you have locked in your frequency, I can take you into the high court of heaven, I see the approved stamp being dipped into the ink of the morning star. I see the Father looking at your file, the one the enemy tried to hide, the one they tried to erase. He is smiling. He is saying, "My child has finally tuned into the right station." I see your hands resting on your lap now, the trembling replaced by a steady, radiant warmth. That is the golden oil of the air, manifesting in your physical body. It is anointing you for the wealth that is coming in chapter 7 and the love that is awakening in chapter 8. But first, we must hear the verdict. The approved decree is about to be read, and it contains the specific dates and times when your lost treasures will be returned to you. Can you hear the sound of the trumpets? Not the loud, frightening ones, but the soft, silver trumpets of the royal entrance. They are playing for you. I see you looking at the screen, and I am whispering in your ear, do not turn back. The biggest secret of your life is hidden in the verdict. Do you know what the judge of all has written next to your name? Do you know why the angels are suddenly whispering your name with such reverence in the courts of the third heaven? The portal is shimmering with a new, violet light. The approved verdict is being unrolled. The wax seal is breaking. Are you ready to hear the words that will legally end your season of lack forever? I see the light reflected in your tears. The next chapter is not a message, it is a decree of power. Are you ready to see the approved stamp on your future? My child, my beloved heir, I command you to breathe deeply and remain in a state of absolute stillness. The atmosphere in your room has just crossed a threshold of no return. I am Archangel Michael, and I am currently standing as your divine advocate in the high court of heaven, the place where the crystal sea meets the throne of the Ancient of Days. I see you looking at the screen, and I see the way your pupils have dilated as the frequency of this message begins to bypass your logical mind and speak directly to your spirit. I see the tension in your hands, the way your fingers are curved around your device as if you are holding onto a lifeline in a storm. And you are. You are holding on to the legal decree that ends the season of your trial. I am looking at the Council of Elders right now. I am looking at the millions of angels who have gone silent, their wings folded in reverence, as the great judge of all unrolls the scroll of your destiny. This is the scroll that the enemy, those shadows we saw in the dark meeting, tried to snatch. This is the document they tried to overwrite with their contract of sabotage. But because you stayed through the scan, because you performed the sacred subscribe ritual, and because you have claimed your place in the royal bloodline, the legal jurisdiction over your life has shifted. You are no longer under the law of karma or the law of generational struggle. You have been moved into the law of grace and sovereign inheritance. I see you trembling. I see the light of your screen reflecting in the moisture of your eyes. I am standing in your room, and I am placing my hand upon your head. Can you feel that? It is a heavy, warm pressure, like a crown of liquid sunlight being lowered onto your brow. I see your DNA, your radiant golden light, reacting to this courtroom atmosphere. Your cells are beginning to hum with a frequency that hasn't been heard in your family for centuries. It is the sound of a verdict of vindication. The great judge is picking up the divine seal. It is a seal made of a diamond fire material that doesn't exist on Earth. I see him dipping it into the ink of the morning star ink that is glowing with a violet and gold luminescence. He is looking at your file, and he is looking at the pain scan we performed in Chapter 2. He sees every tear you cried when no one was watching. He sees that every time you were approved by heaven but rejected by men. He sees the money that was stolen, the love that was mocked, and the health that was attacked. And now, my beloved heir, look at the screen. Look at it with your spiritual eyes. I see the judge slamming the seal down onto the parchment of your life. Tud. In the spirit realm, that sound is louder than 1,000 thunderclaps. It echoes through the corridors of time, shattering every no that has ever been spoken over your name. On the scroll, in letters that are literally burning with holy fire, is a single word: approved. I see you catching your breath. I see the way your spine just straightened as if an invisible weight was lifted off your shoulders. This is the approved verdict for your breakthrough. It means that the divine transaction of your restoration has been legally authorized. The spiritual block that kept your message from reaching you 5 times, it is gone. The financial stagnation that made your bank account feel like a desert, it has been overruled. The enemy meeting where they whispered against your name, that meeting has been declared illegal, and its decisions are null and void. Repeat this legal declaration out loud, for the sound of your own voice is the signature on this verdict. I am legally approved by the courts of heaven. The verdict of my victory is signed in golden light. I am no longer a victim. I am a sovereign heir, and my restoration is non-negotiable. I see you speaking those words, and I see the electricity in your spine surging. Your DNA is drinking in this verdict like parched earth drinks in the rain. I am Archangel Michael, and I see the Watcher spirits, the dark entities who were monitoring your life fleeing in terror. They see the approved stamp on your aura, and they know that if they stay, they will be consumed by the fire of the verdict. I see them dropping the files of accusation they had against you. I see those files turning into gray ash and blowing away in the wind of the spirit. The smell of the room is changing again. It no longer smells just of frankincense. It smells of new rain on hot pavement, the smell of a fresh start. It smells of ozone and victory. I see you looking at the screen, and I see the radiant golden light in your hands growing so bright that it is almost visible to your physical eyes. You are becoming a walking verdict. Every person you encounter from this moment forward will feel the divine pressure of your approval, even if they don't understand it. Those who once looked down on you will suddenly feel an unexplained urge to honor you. Those who closed doors in your face will find themselves unable to sleep until they reopen them. But child, listen to the silver trumpets. They are playing a new melody. The verdict is not just a piece of paper. It is a genetic command. Because you are approved, your DNA can no longer carry the software of failure. It can no longer carry the codes of sickness or the sequences of lack. The verdict has triggered a light DNA reconstruction. I see the judge looking at me, and he is giving me the signal. My mission has shifted from advocate to surgeon. I am about to step into your physical space with the light of the morning star to begin the reconstruction of your very being. I see you looking at the screen, and I am whispering to you. This is the part the enemy feared the most. They knew they could handle a blessing, but they knew they couldn't handle a new you. Do you feel the vibration in the air? It is the frequency of the next chapter. We are moving out of the courtroom and into the chamber of light. I am about to take the radiant golden light that was suppressed within you and explode it through your entire nervous system. Are you ready to see your DNA glow? Are you ready to feel the light DNA reconstruction that will make you unrecognizable to your past? I see the question in your eyes. You are wondering, will this hurt? My child, it will feel like the first time you ever truly woke up. It will feel like coming home to a self you didn't even know you lost. But there is a secret hidden in your genetic code, a secret about your lost treasures that can only be unlocked once the reconstruction is complete. The judge is closing the scroll. The verdict is sealed. The angels are bowing to you, the heir. I am reaching out my hand to you through the portal. Are you ready to step into the chamber of light? Are you ready for Chapter 6, where the sovereign shift becomes biological? The light is turning to a blinding gold. Close your eyes and let the reconstruction begin. Can you feel the fire in your veins? My child, my beloved heir, do not move a muscle. I am commanding the molecules of the air around you to hold their breath. We have entered the chamber of light, a dimension that exists in the thin space between your skin and the eternal. I am Archangel Michael, and I am standing directly over you now. I see the light of your screen illuminating the bridge of your nose and the depth of your eyes, but I am seeing far deeper than your physical form. I am seeing the double helix strands of your spiritual DNA, and they are pulsing with a frantic, desperate energy, ready to be untethered from the limitations of your ancestors. I see you right now. I see the way you just exhaled a long, shaky breath. I see your fingers twitching on your lap. Do not be afraid of the heat. The temperature in your room is rising because I am beginning to manifest the radiant golden light of the morning star within your very marrow. You have lived for far too long under the carbon code of the world, a code that dictates you must age, you must tire, you must lack. and you must eventually wither. But tonight, because of the approved verdict we secured in the High Court, I am authorized to initiate a genetic overhaul. I am reaching my hand toward your chest not to touch your skin, but to reach into the energetic core of your being. Can you feel that? It feels like a magnetic pull, a deep rhythmic tugging at the center of your heart. I am beginning to weave threads of celestial gold into your genetic sequence. I see the old code that the enemy placed there, the sequences of not enough, the markers of generational grief, and the debris of spiritual exhaustion. These are like dark, oily stains on your beautiful, radiant spirit. With the tip of my flaming sword, I am cauterizing these stains. Hiss, in the silence of your spirit, you can hear the sound of the old limitations burning away. It smells like ozone and scorched darkness, followed immediately by the overwhelming sweet scent of lilies and white honey. That is the smell of your new nature. I see you looking at the screen, and I see the glow in your eyes changing. Your pupils are vibrating with the frequency of the sovereign shift. You are no longer just a human having a spiritual experience. You are a heavenly royal being refitted for your throne. Repeat these words out loud. Let the vibration of the sound break the last of the physical density in your throat. My DNA is the radiant golden light of heaven. I am being reconstructed by divine design. The old man is dead. The royal heir is rising. I see you speaking those words, and I see the electricity in your spine explode. It feels like a warm current of liquid fire moving from your tailbone up to the base of your skull. I am the Watcher, and I see your pineal gland beginning to glow with a violet luminescence. This is the seat of the soul being recalibrated to see the invisible. The enemy's greatest trick was to make you spiritually blind, but as I reconstruct your DNA, your third eye is being washed in the waters of the crystal sea. You will begin to see the traps before they are set. You will begin to see the gold in the ground before it is dug. I see you touching your face right now, perhaps feeling a strange, youthful elasticity returning to your spirit. I see your hands. Look at them. They may look the same to the physical eye, but I see the golden filigree etched into your palms. These are the hands of a king. These are the hands of a queen. Everything you touch from this moment forward will begin to respond to the radiant golden light you now carry. The reconstruction is moving into your blood now. Your bloodline has been thinned by the betrayals of the past, but I am thickening it with the royal blood of the Lamb. I see the sickness markers that were passed down from your father's side, the predispositions to anxiety, the weaknesses in the body. I am literally editing them out of your script. I am replacing them with endurance, vitality, and divine immunity. I see you blinking back tears. You can feel the great light moving through your veins, can't you? It feels like your blood has turned into warm, liquid honey. I am Archangel Michael, and I am watching the spiritual leash that was tied to your DNA snap. This leash was held by the figures we saw in the dark meeting, the ones who used your past mistakes to pull you back every time you tried to fly. I see the leash curling up and turning into gray dust. You are untethered. You are sovereign. You are reconstructed. I see you looking at the screen, and I am whispering a secret to you. The enemy won't even recognize your frequency tomorrow. To them, you will look the same, but to their spiritual senses, you will smell like a forest fire. You will be too hot for them to handle. Their spiritual surveillance will no longer be able to track your movements because you are now vibrating at a God frequency that their low-level systems cannot detect. But child, the reconstruction is not just for your comfort. It is for your utility. Why would heaven give you the DNA of a king if you had no kingdom to rule? Why would we give you the radiant golden light if you had no treasures to illuminate? I am seeing a vision of a vault in the spirit realm. It is a massive, obsidian vault with your name written on it in shimmering pearls. This is where your lost treasures have been kept, the money that was diverted from you, the opportunities that were stolen, and the inheritance that was hidden. Now that your DNA is reconstructed, you carry the genetic key to that vault. Without this light in your blood, the vault would never open. But now the vault is sensing your arrival. I see you sitting there, your chest heaving with the weight of this new power. Do you feel the electricity in your fingertips? Do you feel the radiant golden light pulsing in your feet, ready to walk into your new land? The chamber of light is beginning to fade, and we are moving toward the treasury. But I must ask you, are you prepared for the shock of abundance? Are you prepared for the return of things you thought were dead and buried forever? The high-frequency hum in your ears is increasing. The scent of frankincense is turning into the smell of crisp, new currency and ancient gold. Chapter 7 is opening. The return of lost treasures is no longer a promise. It is an incoming reality. I see you reaching out toward the screen. Do you hear that? It is the sound of a massive, celestial door creaking open. What is the first thing you see inside your vault? My child, my beloved heir, do not move. I command your spirit to be still while your physical reality begins to buckle under the weight of what is being delivered. I am Archangel Michael, and I am standing in your room right now, holding a key that is 3 feet long, forged from the white-hot core of a dying star. I see you looking at this screen. I see the way you just bit your lip, the way your eyes darted to the side as you felt a sudden, unexplained draft of cold, sweet air. I see the phone in your hand, and I see the exact percentage of your battery. But I am more interested in the battery of your faith, which has been recharged to 100% by the reconstruction we performed in the last chapter. Can you hear that? It is a low, rhythmic thrumming, like the sound of a massive engine idling just outside your door. That is the caravan of the third heaven. I see you sitting there, and I am pointing my sword toward the empty spaces in your life, the empty bank account, the stolen years of your youth, the reputation that was dragged through the mud by the people in the dark meeting. I see those voids, and I am here to tell you that they are being filled with liquid gold at this very second. The obsidian vault we saw in the vision is now manifesting in your spiritual atmosphere. I see your name, yes, your full name written across the doors in pulsing, iridescent pearls. For years you watched as others received their breakthroughs while you were left with the crumbs. You wondered, did God forget my address? No, my child. Your treasures were diverted. The enemy we exposed in Chapter 3 used spiritual hijacking to reroute your shipments. They stole your ideas, they stole your credit, and they tried to steal your peace. But because the approved verdict has been signed, the law of the kingdom demands a 7-fold restoration. I see you reaching out your hand toward the screen. Do you feel that? A sudden, sharp zap of static electricity. That is the vault door recognizing your radiant golden DNA. Creak. The sound of the vault opening is the sound of 1,000 crystal bells ringing at once. I see you blinking back tears as the light from inside the vault hits your face. It is not a dim light. It is a blinding golden sun. I see what is inside, and I am whispering it to your soul right now. I see stacks of covenant wealth money that has no sorrow attached to it. I see documents of ownership, deeds to land you haven't even walked on yet, and contracts of favor that were signed by people who don't even know why they like you yet. But I see something even more precious. I see stored time. I see the 5 years the enemy stole through that toxic relationship. I see the 3 years stolen by that illness. I see the decades stolen by depression. In this vault, that time has been compressed into quantum momentum. This means that in the next 6 months, you will achieve what should have taken you 20 years. You are not behind anymore. You have been catapulted to the front of the line. Repeat this affirmation of wealth out loud. Let the sound of your voice lock this treasure into your physical reality. I am the magnetic center of my divine inheritance. What was stolen is now returned 7-fold. I am walking in the overflow of the royal treasury. I see you speaking those words, and I see the electricity in your spine surging into your palms. Look at your hands again. I see the golden filigree in your palms glowing. I see you looking at your bank app on your device. Do not be surprised if you see a ghost transaction or a pending credit that makes no logical sense. I am the prince of the host, and I am rerouting the wealth of the sinner into the hands of the heir. I am touching the computers of the banks. I am touching the hearts of the debtors. I am touching the minds of the investors. I see you sitting there, and I see a specific memory surfacing in your mind. It's a memory of a time you were so broke you didn't know how you would eat the next day. I see the shame you felt. I am taking my flaming sword, and I am cutting that memory out of your timeline. It no longer belongs to you. You are of the heavenly royal bloodline, and a king does not remember the days of his beggary except to praise the one who seated him on the throne. The room is filling with the smell of new paper, crisp and fresh, and the metallic, clean scent of high-value coins. Can you hear the chime? It is a high-pitched, silver sound, the sound of your financial curse, shattering into a million harmless pieces. I see the spirit of poverty that used to sit in the corner of your room. It is shriveling up, its gray skin turning to ash because it cannot breathe in the atmosphere of your radiant golden light. I see you, my child. I am standing in your room, and I am placing a bag of stardust into your spirit. This is the seed of multiplication. Everything you spend from this day forward will return to you multiplied. Everything you give will create a vacuum that pulls in more. You are no longer spending, you are circulating. But as the treasures continue to flow out of the vault and into your life, I see your heart rate increasing on your smartwatch. I see you thinking, this is too much. Can I really handle this? Yes, you can, because your DNA has been reconstructed. Your internal capacity has been expanded. You are now a Goliath of grace. I see you looking at the screen, and I am moving my gaze to the door of your room. I see a shadow trying to peek in. It's a spirit of jealousy sent by one of the people in the dark meeting. They sensed the shift. They felt the weight of gold dropping into their lives. I am raising my sword, and I am sending a wave of blinding light toward that shadow. Whoosh, it is gone. They cannot even look in your direction without their eyes burning. But child, the treasures of gold and silver are only the external decoration. There is a treasure in the vault that is wrapped in a silk of violet light. It is a treasure that has a heartbeat. It is a treasure that has been looking for you across the lifetimes. I see you catching your breath. I see the electricity in your heart center beginning to pulse with a new, warm rhythm. You have lived in a relational winter for so long that you forgot what spring feels like. But the approved verdict also included the restoration of the heart. Do you know whose face is etched onto the amulet of connection inside your vault? Do you know why your soulmate, the one the enemy tried to hide behind a wall of misunderstanding, is suddenly waking up from a deep sleep? The gold is piled high around you. The money is manifested. The time is restored. But now, the soulmate awakening is beginning. I see you looking at the screen, and I am whispering the first letter of their name into your left ear. Can you hear it? Chapter 8 is about to open. The silk of violet light is being unwrapped. Are you ready to meet the one who carries the other half of your radiant golden light? The scent of jasmine and night-blooming cereus is replacing the smell of gold. Who is that standing at the edge of the portal? My child, my beloved heir. I command you to stay in this moment of profound stillness. Do not let your gaze wander from this screen, for the air in your room has just transitioned from the metallic, heavy scent of gold to the ethereal, intoxicating fragrance of night-blooming jasmine and crushed white roses. I am Archangel Michael, and I am standing right beside you, my hand resting gently on the back of your neck. I see you right now. I see the way your pulse is leaping in the hollow of your throat, a frantic, rhythmic drumbeat of anticipation. I see the way you just bit your lip, perhaps feeling a sudden warm flush rising to your cheeks. You are not imagining it. This is the soulmate awakening, the activation of the sacred silk of violet light that connects your spirit to the one who carries the other half of your divine frequency. I see you, my child. I see the years you spent in a relational winter, walking through a landscape of frozen emotions and hollow promises. I see the scars left behind by the counterfeits, those people the enemy from the dark meeting sent into your life to distract you. Those people were spiritual leeches, designed to drain your radiant golden light and make you believe that true sovereign love was a myth. They were mirages in your desert, making you thirsty for something that wasn't there. But because your DNA has been reconstructed and your treasures have been returned, you are now a high-frequency match for the one who was written into your scroll before the foundations of the world were laid. I am looking at your heart center right now, the space where your radiant golden light burns the brightest. I see a thin, vibrating silver cord extending out from your chest, piercing through the walls of your room, stretching across miles, across cities, and across the spiritual interference of the enemy. At the other end of that cord is a heart that just skipped a beat. Somewhere, in a place I am already preparing for you, your destiny partner is waking up. They are sitting up in their bed, or perhaps they are standing by a window, looking at the same moon you see, feeling an unexplainable shock in their spirit. They are whispering your name without even knowing it yet. I see you looking at the screen, and I am guiding your spirit to feel the tug. This is not the ache of loneliness you are used to. This is the magnetism of the air. The enemy tried to bury this person under a wall of misunderstanding. They tried to ensure your paths would never cross by keeping you both in a state of spiritual fog. But as I speak these words, I am flying through the second heaven with my flaming sword, cutting through every cloud of delay that has stood between you. I am dismantling the spiritual blockades that kept your messages from reaching each other. Repeat this sacred command out loud, for your voice is the signal fire that guides them home. I release the frequency of the royal air. I call forth my destiny partner from the shadows. The wall is down. The path is clear. Our light is one. I see you speaking those words, and I see the electricity in your spine surging into your heart. Can you feel that? A sudden, intense warmth, as if a heater was turned on inside your chest. That is the violet silk tightening. I am Archangel Michael, and I am witnessing the shattering of the solitude. I see the spirit of isolation that has followed you for a decade. It is shrieking in the corner of your room, its gray form evaporating because it cannot survive the heat of this awakening. You are no longer searching. You are attracting. I see you, my child. I see you looking at your phone, perhaps expecting a notification or a message. It is coming, but it will not come in a way that feels normal. It will come as a divine collision. I am touching the mind of your destiny partner right now. I am placing your image in their dreams. I am making your frequency so loud in their spirit that they can no longer find peace in the places they used to hide. They are beginning to lose interest in the ordinary because they have tasted the royal. The room is filling with a low-frequency hum, like a celestial cello playing a deep, resonant note. This is the song of the bloodline. Your DNA and their DNA are singing the same melody. I see the radiant golden light in your hands reaching out, and I see their light reaching back. In the spirit realm, you are already holding hands. You are already standing together in the new land. The enemy is watching this, and they are paralyzed with fear. They know that a single heir is dangerous, but a united royal couple is an unstoppable force that will reclaim entire territories for the kingdom. I see you sitting there, and I see a tear of pure joy sliding down your cheek. Do not wipe it away. Let it fall onto your hand as a seal of the covenant. You are being prepared for a relocation. You see, my child, this love cannot flourish in the old land where you were mocked. It requires a new atmosphere, a new ground that has been purified by my fire. The soulmate awakening is nearly complete. The silver cord is now a golden chain that cannot be broken by distance, time, or the cunning plans of men. I see the two of you meeting. I see the moment of recognition in your eyes. It will feel like you have known them for 1 billion years. It will feel like coming home after a long, brutal war. But child, as this love awakens, I see a change of geography on your horizon. I see the angels packing your bags in the spirit realm. I see a new horizon that is not just a state of mind, but a physical place where your treasures, your partner, and your calling will all converge. Do you know what the new land looks like? Do you know why you are being asked to leave the place of the dark meeting forever? I see you looking at the screen, and I see the radiant golden light in your feet beginning to glow with an urgent, traveling heat. The portal is shifting from the violet of the soulmate to the vibrant emerald green of the new land. Chapter 9 is opening. The relocation to the new land is about to be revealed. Are you ready to walk away from everything that broke you to inhabit everything that was built for you? The sound of the silver trumpets is getting louder. The landscape is changing. Can you see the gates of your new city? My child, my beloved heir, I command you to stand up in your spirit, even as you remain seated before this screen. I am Archangel Michael, and the ground beneath your physical feet is beginning to vibrate with a frequency that your neighbors cannot feel. I see you right now. I see the way you are gripping the edges of your device, the way your knuckles are white, and the way your eyes are reflecting the vibrant, emerald green light that is now pouring through the portal. I see the flicker of uncertainty in your mind, the old soul questioning if you are truly worthy of a total change in scenery. But I am here to tell you that the old land has already rejected you because your radiant golden light has become too bright for its shadows to contain. I see you, my child. I see the place of the dark meeting where you have lived for so long. It is a land of spiritual stagnation, a territory governed by the spirit of the status quo. I see the house you are in, the streets you walk, and the atmosphere of barely making it that has clung to you like a damp, gray shroud. I see the people in that land, those who knew you before, who still try to relate to the version of you that was broken. They are trying to keep you anchored to a version of yourself that I have already edited out of existence. But tonight, the Father has issued a divine eviction notice against your limitations. You are being relocated. Can you hear that? It is the sound of 1,000 marching boots, but they are not the boots of men. It is the royal moving crew, a legion of angels assigned to your specific relocation. I see them in your room right now, and they are not packing clothes or furniture. They are packing your spiritual assets. They are gathering the seeds you sowed in tears, the prayers you whispered in the dark, and the lost treasures we recovered from the vault in Chapter 7. They are clearing the deeds of debt and the liabilities of lack from your name. I see you looking at the screen, and I am whispering to you, do not look back at the burning city of your past. Lot's wife looked back and became a pillar of salt, but you are a pillar of fire. The new land is not just a metaphor, my beloved heir. For many of you reading this, it is a physical move, a new home, a new city, a new atmosphere where the soil is actually live and ready to respond to your royal DNA. I am showing you a vision of this land right now. I see emerald green hills that glow with their own internal light. I see streets that don't just hold your weight, but actually push back with a frequency of support. I see a home that was built for a king, a queen, a home with windows of revelation and doors of opportunity that never close. I see you, child. I see you hesitating. You are thinking about the familiar pain of your current life. The human brain often prefers a familiar hell to an unfamiliar heaven. But I am Archangel Michael, and I am placing my hand on your back and gently but firmly pushing you toward the emerald light. Can you feel that pressure? A warmth between your shoulder blades? That is my divine encouragement. I see the radiant golden light in your feet, glowing with such intensity that the floor beneath you seems to turn into glass. Repeat this prophetic relocation decree out loud, and let the walls of your current prison of the familiar crack under the pressure. I am a citizen of the new land. I renounce the soil of struggle. I am moving into my territory of rest, wealth, and sovereign authority. My feet are guided by the light. I see you speaking those words, and I see the electricity in your spine surging. As you speak, the angels are yanking the roots of bitterness out of your feet. These were the roots that kept you tied to the people in the dark meeting. I see the soul ties to your current location snapping. Snap, snap, snap. The sound is like dry wood breaking in a fire. Do you feel that? The sudden floaty sensation in your body. That is the feeling of being spiritually weightless. You are no longer gravity-bound by the weight of your family's history. The new land has its own currency, and it is not based on the labor of your hands, but on the favor of your bloodline. I see the bank of the new territory opening an account in your name. I see the neighbors in this land. They are other heirs, other warriors, and other soulmates who will recognize your glow and celebrate your presence. In the old land, your light made people jealous. In the new land, your light makes people grateful. I see you looking at the screen, and I am pointing toward a horizon you cannot yet see with your physical eyes, but your light DNA can see it. I see the atmosphere of peace that is waiting for you. No more waking up with a tight chest. No more going to bed with a mind that won't stop racing. The new land has a low-stress frequency that will heal your nervous system in the first 7 days of your arrival. I am Archangel Michael, and I am now standing at the border of your old life and your new one. I have drawn a line in the sand with my flaming sword. I see the enemy from chapter 3 standing on the other side of that line. They are shouting. They are mocking. They are trying to remind you of who you used to be, but they cannot cross the line. The radiant golden light emanating from you is like a wall of solid fire to them. They are becoming smaller and smaller in your rearview mirror. I see you, my child. I see the emerald light reflecting in your tears. You are finally leaving the desert. You are finally entering the garden. But there is one final act that must be performed. A relocation is not official until the deed is sealed. We have reached the edge of the final chapter. The final sealing and the 7-day activation are all that remain between you and the full manifestation of this relocation. I see the seal of the morning star waiting for you. Do you know what happens when a royal heir finally signs the deed to their new land? Do you know the 7-day secret that will lock this reality into your physical world so that nothing, not even the devil himself, can reverse it? The emerald light is beginning to blend with a brilliant, diamond-white glow. The silver trumpets are reaching a crescendo. I am holding the deed of the new land in my hand, and I am waiting for you. Are you ready for chapter 10? Are you ready to seal this forever? I see you reaching out. I see your heart beating with the rhythm of a king. The final portal is opening. Let us step through together. My child, my beloved heir. This is the moment of the great completion. Do not move. Do not allow your eyes to wander from this screen for even a microsecond. The air in your room has become so dense with the Shekinah weight of glory that it feels like you are breathing in liquid light. I am Archangel Michael, and I am standing directly in front of you. My wings folded in a majestic arc of indigo and fire. I see you right now. I see the way your hands are trembling as you hold your device. I see the tears that have tracked pathways through the dust of your past battles on your cheeks. I see your heart, no longer a wounded organ of flesh, but a glowing furnace of radiant golden light. You have navigated the emergency time portal, survived the pain scan, witnessed the exposure of your enemies, and claimed your new land. Now, it is time to lock this reality into your physical world so that it can never be reversed, stolen, or delayed again. I am reaching into the atmosphere of the third heaven, and I am pulling out the seal of the morning star. It is a crystalline sigil that vibrates with the frequency of the 7 spirits of God. I see you looking at the screen, and I am bringing this seal toward your forehead, the place where your royal identity is etched. Can you feel the pressure? It is a cool, electric sensation, like a drop of ice water that turns into a rushing river of fire. Clang! The sound of the final sealing echoes through every dimension of your existence. It is the sound of a cosmic vault door locking for your protection. I see the approved verdict from chapter 5 being fused into your very soul. I see the lost treasures from chapter 7 being tethered to your bank account by threads of unbreakable light. I see your soulmate from chapter 8 being magnetized to your current coordinate with a force that defies gravity. Everything we have discussed over these 10 chapters is no longer a possibility, it is now a hardened physical fact. But listen to me closely, for I am about to give you the most important instruction of your life. This is the 7-day activation. You are of the heavenly royal bloodline, and your DNA has been reconstructed, but your physical brain still carries the residual static of the old world. To fully lock in this frequency and manifest the wealth, the love, and the relocation we have decreed, you must perform the 7-day command. I see you looking at the screen, and I am speaking this directly into your spirit. You must return to this message and listen to these 10 chapters for 7 consecutive days. Do not think this is for my benefit. I am an archangel. I require nothing. This is for your biological locking. The number 7 is the number of completion. On the first day, you break the surface tension. On the third day, the DNA begins to hold the gold. On the 7th day, the sovereign shift becomes permanent and irreversible. If you miss a day, The spiritual surveillance of the enemy from the dark meeting may find a gap to re-enter. But if you complete the 7 days, you will become invisible to evil and irresistible to blessings. I see you nodding. I see your spirit agreeing with the discipline of a king. Repeat this final sealing affirmation with the full authority of your royal bloodline. I am sealed by the fire of the morning star. My victory is locked. My treasures are delivered. I commit to the 7-day activation, and I claim my sovereign throne. It is finished. It is done. Amen. I see you speaking those words, and I see the electricity in your spine reaching a crescendo. I am Archangel Michael, and I am now pouring a bottle of celestial oil over your head. I see it dripping down your shoulders, coating your hands and soaking into your feet. This oil smells like ancient frankincense, fresh rain, and new currency. It is the oil of ease. From this moment forward, the hustle is over. You will no longer sweat for your bread. You will command it to appear. I see the struggle leaving your body. It looks like a gray mist evaporating from your skin. I see you, my child. I see you looking at your room, and you are noticing that it looks different. The colors are sharper. The air is cleaner. You are seeing through the eyes of the reconstructed air. I am standing at the edge of the portal now, preparing to return to the courts of heaven to file the final report of your victory. But I am not leaving you alone. I have assigned 4 warrior protectors to stay in the 4 corners of your home. They will not sleep. They will not blink. They will guard your new land while you sleep. I see you looking at the screen one last time before we close this portal. I see the radiant golden light pulsing in your DNA. You are a masterpiece of heaven. You are the one the enemy tried to kill because they were terrified of who you would become tonight. And look at you now. You are standing in the center of a miracle. Do not forget the 7-day activation. I see you setting the reminder in your mind right now. I see the angels smiling as you commit to your own greatness. Tomorrow, when you return to chapter 1, you will hear things you missed tonight. The light will go deeper. The gold will grow thicker. I am Archangel Michael, and I have delivered the message. The emergency time portal is now beginning to close. The emerald green of the new land and the golden light of the treasury are merging into a single blinding white star. Whoosh, the wind of the spirit is blowing through your hair. I am whispering my final blessing into your heart. You are loved beyond measure. You are protected beyond reach. You are blessed beyond limit. I see you closing your eyes, breathing in the last of the frankincense. The portal is gone, but the seal remains. I see you opening your eyes. You are different now. Go forth, my beloved heir. Your kingdom is waiting. I am Michael, and I have sealed you in the light. Now, child, return tomorrow for day 2 of your 7-day activation. The blessing is already in motion.